It's May 4, 2023. My name is Jimmy Van, and this is KYN Live. My guest says he likes the sound of his own voice. He doesn't like wearing winter coats in May, and I'm with you on that. And to say that he is passionate about the Boston Celtics would be a major understatement. He is the founder of CLNS Media, and he is the co-host of the Showtime podcast with Michael Cooper. This is Nick Gelso. Nick, how are you, man?
Jimmy, man, middle of the NBA playoffs, and I get to take a break from talking hoops to come talk some stupid stuff with you, man. I'm psyched.
Exactly why I do it. I could take a break from pro wrestling. You could take a break from the Celtics. We could just talk about some stupid shit. Now, I have to ask you a question out of the chute. I'm not a big basketball fan, but I'm in Toronto, and so the Raptors are my team. Isn't Michael Cooper a former Laker? And if he is, isn't there like a massive long-time rivalry with the Lakers and the Celtics? Like, how the hell did that happen?
Oh man. Well, because for many years I ran our entire network, cover Boston sports, really all sports, but heavy influence in Boston. We're in all the locker rooms, producers, cameramen. And I had a very big relationship with NBA legends. I do a lot with the NBA Retired Players Association, a lot of retired players over the years. And Coop was a good friend based on our mutual hatred of each other's teams. So now it's turned into, because the NBA fan, we're the boomers now. So we kind of agree more than disagree, believe it or not.
Awesome. It's good to know that two rivalries can come together. You know what I mean?
Only
awesome to hear. Awesome to hear. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to talk to KYN 7 of the top news stories of the week that are stupid, funny, and weird. I'm going to get your reactions, and I'll ask you questions along the way. And guys, get into your super chats to get your question or statement right on the air. If you don't want to donate through YouTube, or if you can't catch the show live, go to kynchat.com, leave a contribution anytime you want, and we'll read your question or statement on the air. Nick, I say this every single time. It is so hard to whittle down these stories to 7 because there are so many, but I did my best to find 7 good ones. You ready to go?
I'm ready, man. Let's go. Start the clock.
Start the clock. Let's start with story number 7, reported by UPI.com. All right. So the Blackpool Zoo in England, they posted a job opening seeking applicants for the position of seagull deterrent. That's the actual job title, seagull deterrent. Their task is to keep the seagulls away from the visitor dining areas because they try to steal the food. But there is one particular requirement in order for the right person to get the job. Nick, what is the special requirement that you have to agree to become the seagull deterrent?
Not feed the seagulls?
That is an excellent answer. Excellent answer. But no, you have to be comfortable wearing a bird costume. Look at this thing, and this is real. Look at that.
Yes, that looks like the Philadelphia Eagles mascot. There you go.
It kind of does.
Wow, not really. That looks like wearing maybe a condom or a garbage bag. I don't know which.
I don't know, but it is legitimate. They're wearing glasses. They almost look like you a little bit, but that is legitimate. Yeah, if people are interested, go to blackpoolzoo.org.uk because that is real. How would you feel, Nick, about wearing that thing on the job?
In high school, our mascot was an eagle, and I did not wear the outfit. So, but if I was getting paid, man, maybe if the money's good enough, I'll be a bird, Larry Bird.
Clever one. All right. Well, for every story that we do, I try to ask a question that's somehow related to it. And so my question with this one is, what is the worst attire that you ever had to wear at a job that you dreaded putting on?
When I was a busboy at 13 years old, we had to wear, now this was maybe appropriate back in the early 90s, but we had to wear a tuxedo with a cummerbund, and a green bow tie, and it had ruffle ridges, down here. So that's probably the most embarrassing thing that wasn't Halloween related.
Awesome. So when you weren't working, you're ready for the prom.
I just went right to the prom.
Right to the prom.
Wait a minute. We catered the prom. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, you'd probably be at the prom and they'd be like, hey, get back to work. Get back
here. Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's move on to story number 6, reported by the Washington Post. All right, this is good. So there was a Netflix documentary. It was released this year called The Hatchet-Wielding Hitchhiker. It's about a guy named Kai Lawrence. He went viral for a news interview that he did in 2013, but he was later convicted of murder in 2019. In that documentary, they aired a photo montage. You know, they'll put up these photo montages and they got like a narrator talking and stuff. So they put up a photo montage about Mr. Lawrence. One of those pictures has gotten Netflix into legal trouble. Nick, what was it about one particular photo that got Netflix in hot water?
Oh, man. I have no idea, man. I mean, did he have like I don't know. Was it like a dead mannequin with them? I don't know.
Sometimes I like to leave these open-ended because I want to see how creative is this person going to get. But
that's very open-ended.
The reason Netflix got in trouble is because in one of the photos, the guy in it wasn't actually Kai Lawrence. It was somebody completely unrelated. We have a picture from the montage. Look at this. So this, you can probably tell that is the Netflix screen.
Yeah.
That montage in the background, the photo on the right, that was taken from Instagram. That is somebody else named Taylor Hazelwood. No idea why Netflix used his likeness. He got wind of it, and now he is seeking at least $1 million in damages. Yeah. How would you feel? How would you feel if you're sitting there doing your podcast with Michael Cooper, and then you get a text message saying Netflix just put a picture from your social media in this documentary about somebody else? How would you feel about that?
I'd say, Coop, I gotta go. I gotta call my lawyer right now. Gotta call my lawyer. No. I'm suing, baby.
It's unbelievable. And it's because the guy was a long-haired guy with a hatchet.
Please do it, Netflix. Please. That way I get the $1 million.
Maybe it depends on what the documentary is about.
It's about, yes. $1 million is $1 million, man. No,
you'll take it no matter what. You'll take it no matter what. There's a pedophile named Nick Gelso, and you're like, $1 million.
Sue him for defamation. That's a double whammy right there. Likeness, defamation. Man, this is like a Trump case already, a Trump trial.
He's ragging it up.
Yeah,
he's ragging it up. All right, easy question for you in this one. Have you ever hitchhiked, Nick?
I have not, but
never.
As a child, my parents yelled at her in a nice, polite way because she would pick up hitchhikers, and I was like 6 in the back of the car sitting next to the hitchhikers. The late 80s. It was the late 80s. Safe then. Yeah.
I've gone through the same thing. My mother used to pick up hitchhikers.
Yeah. I mean, it was like insane. They would just, Graham would pull over in the Cadillac and open the door. Come on, where are you going? Are you kidding? Could you imagine that today?
Oh, there's no way. I mean, the only thing now is it's easier now because you got social media now. If you need a ride in a pinch, you know what I mean? I remember there was one time Ricky Gervais was in Toronto one time, and he put on his social media that he was lost in Toronto, and somebody went and picked him up. Although that could still be a bad situation because if they don't like Ricky Gervais, you know what I mean?
Could go bad.
It could go bad.
I don't pick anybody up. I mean, I barely get in an Uber these days. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm checking the license plate 3 or 4 times. I'm holding up the phone with the light so they know it's me.
I'm with you. I'm with you. We're in a different place. We're in a different place. All right. Reminder, guys, get into your super chats to get your question or statement right on the air. If you can't catch the show live, go to kynchat.com, leave a contribution at any time, and we'll read your question or statement on the next show. Let's move on to story number 5, reported by the Columbus Dispatch. Okay. So Vinton Township in Ohio, they underwent an audit, and they discovered that a town official, the guy's name is Cy Veerstra, he had stolen public money totaling nearly $300,000, and he used that money for something pretty specific. Nick, what did Mr. Veerstra use those town funds for?
To pay off all the politicians at election time not to come to Ohio. No, that wasn't it, man.
Even though he is a politician.
Oh, shit, man. Well, then he was just keeping them away. But really, that doesn't even matter. $300,000 doesn't get a politician anywhere, man. He did it to get people to come to his farm. I don't know. I've never even been to Ohio.
You kind of sort of nailed it. He opened his own zoo.
There you go.
We got pictures. Good for you, man. We got pictures. Put them
What's
up,
the
Rob.
prize? All right.
There he is. Now, I don't know which one is Cy Veerstra in this photo necessarily, So he called it the Union Ridge Wildlife Center in Wilkesville, Ohio. He pled guilty to 5 felonies, including theft in office and tampering with records. He got just under 5 years in prison, and he also has to pay back $340,000. The zoo was closed, and the animals all had to be rehomed.
These animals, they look so happy.
Well, they do in the moment. Maybe they don't now. You know?
I
always have to wonder, like, how do these people not think that they're going to get caught? Like, how do they not think that they're going to get caught?
Like, where they're taking these pictures smiling, he might as well just hold up his his election card, his business card that he's the whatever he is there. Yeah, next one.
I just can never get how they don't. You know, how does he not think I'm going to open up this? I guess it was somewhat elaborate zoo, and no one's going to question where the money came from.
Well, not to mention, he's shirtless with like snakes wrapped around him, right? There's monkeys in his face. I mean, if that's not attention getting, I don't know what is. Not surprising.
Not surprising
in 2023. Not surprising.
Yep, it's true. Okay, now I'm not suggesting that you would steal the money, but if $300,000 fell into your lap today, what would you spend it on?
The poor. No, I mean, that was a good one. See, like that. No, now we're laughing. No,
you can't go there and then say it's a joke. You know what I'm saying?
Some to the poor. I would definitely, but I would probably. I don't like cars. I'm not a big car guy. Maybe I'd buy a boat. I live on Boston Harbor, right behind me. Maybe I'd buy a boat for the harbor.
Interesting. Do you have Celtics?
Not enough. It would be a rowboat. No, we have all access, so we go wherever we want every game.
Okay.
So we don't pay.
Yeah.
We pay the guys to go.
Awesome, amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to story number 4, reported by Petapixel. This is interesting. So, a wedding photographer in South Africa. The guy's name is Lance Romeo. I'm going to go ahead and guess that's not his legal name, but Lance Romeo. No. He was contacted by a woman whose wedding he had shot back in 2019, right? So he took her wedding photos back in 2019. She had a problem, and she was hoping that he would help her settle her problem. Nick, what do you think the problem was?
She got a divorce. She hates her husband, and she wants him erased from the pictures.
You are you are good at this. Some people are good at this, and Nick Gelso is good at this. So she did get a divorce, but she didn't want the guy removed from the photos. She wanted her money back. And we have a screenshot of their text conversation. Look at the top. She says, I don't know if you still remember me. You did photo shoot for me 2019. She said, now I'm divorced. Those pictures, my ex-husband, I don't need them anymore. I need a refund for the amount we paid because we don't need them anymore. She actually said this.
Oh my God.
She actually said this. And the guy was like, this has to be a joke, right? I'm sorry to hear you and your husband divorced, but as you can probably figure out, that's not going to happen. What do you think of the balls on this request?
I used to be in the restaurant business. No request is too crazy. I'm not surprised. The funny thing about it, though, is the interaction, right? Because he's like, hey, how are you? I remember you, of course. And she's like, hello, dear. Give me my effing money back.
Yeah. It's like, I remember, I'm an older guy, so I remember the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Of course, yeah.
And there's a scene in that movie when the guy at the fast food joint, he eats almost the entire meal, and then he goes to get a refund for it. You know what I'm saying?
Jimmy, this has happened. I had one couple that used to come in all the time, like once a week. Once a week, they'd send the food back. We were a popular place. We had very rare complaints, but they wanted to talk to me. So I go out of the kitchen. They said, Nick, what are you recommending tonight? I said, I'm recommending you close your menus and go across the street to Bistro and complain. Wow. I sold the restaurant 3 months later. That was the determining factor to get out of the restaurant business. I think you get your menus. Get the hell out of here.
You were done with customers.
Yes. Oh, man. Sometimes the complaints when they'd eat it all and then complain.
Yeah.
You never knew. It's not even on the plate. You never knew it was overcooked. You ate it all.
That's right. That's right, man. You kind of answered my next question. So my next question was going to be, have you either demanded a refund in a situation where you didn't deserve it, or did somebody demand a refund of you? So you've already answered kind of the second
Yeah.
part. Have you ever demanded a refund in a situation where maybe you didn't deserve it?
No, I haven't, but I have recently, since the pandemic, that customer service is so bad. I have taken the fall and become a reviewer. I now leave
Oh,
reviews.
you
I
do.
leave reviews. You know what? I think people have to be accountable. I mean, everywhere you go, I don't know up in Canada, but in the States, if I go to a like the corner market right now and buy, I don't know, a bag of Doritos, the thing asks for a tip. Everybody wants a tip today. So if
Yes.
I'm going to have to tip you, you're going to be accountable. That's like Uber. I complain about Uber all the time because you get in the car, and believe me, I love people from any country. Diversity is wonderful. If you don't speak English, that's fine, but don't drive the car for me if you can't read GPS in English. I have had it where people have said to me, "How do you get there?" And I'm like, "What? That's why I hired you." Review.
I will say in their defense, sometimes they ask because they think you might know a shortcut.
No,
Sometimes.
I mean, they could barely ask. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, whoa, wait a minute, pull over, man. This ain't gonna happen. Here I was covering the NBA, so I'm like, I'm in another city. It's like I don't know where I'm going, and they're asking me for directions. No, thank you. 1 star.
1 star. All
Bam!
right. I think we need to move on to
Yeah,
story number 3. Let's do that. Let's move on to
let's
story
do it.
number 3,
Do it.
reported by the BBC. Okay.
Nice.
So there's a
Coronation tomorrow.
marathon runner in the UK. Her name is Josiah Zakrzewski. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing her name right. Josiah Zakrzewski. She finished 3rd in the 2023 GB Ultras Manchester to Liverpool race. But there was a problem and she ended up getting disqualified. Nick, why did Miss Zakrzewski get disqualified from that race?
She never registered for it and just showed up and ran.
That would have been better. No, she decided to she used a car to drive part of the way.
Oh, I like that one. Maybe it was my Uber driver.
We have pictures of the non-winner. Here she is. There she is, right there.
Sitting down, like in the car.
She got caught. But here's the best part. She got caught because tracking data showed that she had reached superhuman speeds of 35 miles per hour. She claimed that her actions were not malicious. She said she got pain in her leg. A friend drove by, so she hopped in. She says she decided to carry on in a non-competitive way. But here's the thing. She was photographed wearing her medal, Nick. And so if you were only doing it, there she is right there. She's wearing the medal. If you were only doing it to carry on in a non-competitive way, why the hell are you wearing the bronze medal, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, and that smile even my dog's pissed off. Do you hear my dog barking? I mean, that smile she has on, it's not so sincere.
It's pretty amazing that she just would not fathom that maybe hopping in this car is not the way to go. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, or she had it all planned and, she's lying now saying she didn't mean it. I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay, so here is a moment of honesty for you. Here's a moment of honesty. Have you ever cheated at something, whether you got caught or not?
Probably. I mean, I'd have to say in school, maybe I cheated on a quiz or two. I might have been given the answers at one point, but not in many years. I cheated at golf. I did cheat at golf when I used to play.
How would you do that?
I'd pull a point off here or there, give myself a mulligan once in a while. Sometimes tee off from the ladies' tees.
Okay. Were you playing for money? Were you playing for money?
No, I'm just kidding. No, but we would play for drinks or dinner at the club after,
Okay.
I don't golf anymore. I got caught. No, I'm just kidding. I don't remember even cheating, but I'm sure I did at one point or another in school.
So I used to play online Scrabble with coworkers.
You cheated.
There's websites you can go to where if you plug in your letters, it'll spit out the words. And I would hear my coworkers muttering in the office, bitching and complaining about,
wait a minute,
Jimmy always wins.
Is it Words with Friends? Because I think I know. I think I had the same hack. Maybe I did cheat. I think I had the same hack. It'd give me the answers. That was many years ago.
Yeah, one of them figured it out because all of a sudden they were coming up with seven-letter words too. So I knew you're not a scholar. You figured shit out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Final reminder, get into your super chats to get your question or statement right on the air over to kynchat.com. Leave a contribution at any time, and we'll read your question or statement on the next show. We are whipping through these, man. Let's go to story number 2.
Rapid fire.
Reported by Wonderwall. Okay, this is good too. So residents in Tampa, Florida, they got freaked out one night when they saw strange lights in the sky, and it was the cloudy Florida sky. And they saw these strange lights up there. Many of them were quick to believe, I'm seeing a UFO right now. There is a UFO up in the sky. But they figured out later what it really was. Nick, what do you think those lights were in the sky on that cloudy Florida night?
Chinese spy balloon.
That might have been a little better. No, they were actually from a Taylor Swift concert.
Oh, that's all.
Here is a clip. This is a clip that was shot by one of those befuddled residents.
Ooh! Holy shit. They're coming for you, Tony.
I told y'all, motherfucker.
No, that comes from me.
What the is that?
Explain that. Can somebody explain that?
Get the that is not Taylor Swift.
The echo is scarier than the lights. The echo in their voices, the reverb or whatever they had on, is scarier than the lights. That did look like a UFO, by the way.
Oh, you think it did? You think it did?
It didn't look like, I wouldn't have been like, that's from a concert. That's for sure. I would have been like, is that a UFO? I would have thought maybe it was like a helicopter shining lights down or something. There was no noise, so it couldn't have been a plane.
No, yeah, you couldn't hear the noise. First, I should say that clip was courtesy of your Tampa Bay realtor on TikTok. And the best part of that clip was that somebody actually said, that must be from the Taylor Swift concert.
I know, I heard it. I heard that.
That was the best part. She's like, that's not from the Taylor Swift concert.
That's not from Taylor Swift, no. When I was a kid, I was camping out with my brother, and me and my brother and me both, together at the same time saw UFOs. No lie.
You're convinced you saw a UFO?
I'm sure it was, yeah. I mean, this is going back. It was like that, but further back, but just moving really fast back and forth across the sky. I don't think you could think I'm crazy, but I'm telling the truth here. My brother, he's an attorney. Like, he's a very successful, prominent guy. He will admit it too. Yeah, we both saw it. We looked at each other and went, you know what I'm saying?
Really?
Like, we were like, yeah, I was probably like 12. He was probably 17.
And
16.
You know what? So my next question, it's amazing. You and I are in sync on this podcast because
I like this.
Like you predict my question.
I know.
My question was going to be, do you believe in any paranormal phenomenon?
Yes.
Like most are UFOs? You believe in all of it?
Yeah. When I'm saying, like, I believe in I lived in a haunted apartment when I was 18. Dude, we need a whole
I'm learning
show.
stuff about Nick Gelso.
We would need a whole show, baby, to go over this one because it was wild. All I know is I didn't live there anymore, but it was definitely 100%, no doubt in my mind, haunted.
What happened? How?
Dude, there's not enough time. I mean, the bed shaking, all the cupboards would be open. I'd get up in the morning, the scariest one ever was a clean place, right? And I was taking a shower, and all of a sudden, like 8 cockroaches came up from the drain. And this is going back, I was 18, so it was like in the BC times. That was so bad. Once, I used to like see things out of my eye, like the corner of my eye, which we all do that, so you don't think too much. The sink would be on. My bed would shake, man. It was a haunted house. So to make a long story short, after living there about 6 months, the reason I moved in there is because my mother threw me out of my house. I won't even say why. 6 months later, she finally comes to visit. And I've been living there 6 months. This was about 2 months after the cockroach fiasco in the shower. She went to wash her hands in the bathroom sink. I wasn't in there with her, but I hear her scream. I go into the bathroom. There was a giant water bug cockroach about this big. Now, this place, like I said, was clean. She said, "You are out of here." Left that day. Left all my shit there. Never went back.
Really?
Dude.
Was it like a disgruntled ex? Maybe maybe a disgruntled ex was.
Yeah, underneath the sink, put cockroach.
Yeah, maybe she's like kicking the bed underneath.
No, and the craziest thing was, it was actually, the apartment was a 4-story, and I was in the attic, so it's not even like they liked the ground. So like, it was far away. One other story, real quick. It was a really, really stormy night, and I came home from the bar. Yes, I was feeling no pain, but I went to bed. I woke up in the middle of the night, scared shitless, because the ceiling block fell down on top of me with water. So I thought there was a leak in the roof, right? So I moved over. I wasn't scared. I moved over to the other side of the bed, the other side of the bed, moved the bed over and went back to sleep. I was half drunk. I get up the next day. I called the landlord. The landlord, I never heard that the roof's intact. We just put a new roof on. Let's check it out. So they go up there. The next day he calls me up, says, "You won't believe this. This is a huge building. The water traveled along the beam in the attic, across the building, and only dripped right over where your bed was." Maybe it was a disgruntled ex, but I think it was definitely Casper. It was a ghost. So what I found out after the fact was a nun lived there with an adopted kid, and something where the nun got disgraced, or she had to leave the convent. She ended up dying, and that's the story.
Wow.
That's what I heard. So yeah, it's crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Never do that again. So aliens are not out of the realm of belief for me, especially now. I mean, it's on TV all the time. The government is finally kind of admitting it.
Yeah, I don't disagree on aliens. I mean, the universe is too big. So I don't disagree with that.
Disagree on ghosts? Infinity isn't too big, Jimmy?
Yeah, maybe. Okay, maybe I'll tell my wife, hey, let's watch The Sixth Sense again this weekend.
Oh, what a great movie.
Kind of feel like getting there now.
Yeah.
All right. We are down to story. We're down to story number 1, reported by the Indian Express.
Wait, Jimmy, didn't I just give you story number 1, the haunted house?
You know what? This is story 1B.
All right.
Story 1B. And I'm leaving you with, I can't wait to get your thoughts on this one, because you've been pretty spot on with some of your guesses. So this is reported by the Indian Express. As climate change carries on and the world slowly heats up, some places are feeling the brunt of it more than other places, and India is one of them, right? India is heating up. There is a homeopathic doctor from India. His name is Shashil Sagar, and he came up with a way to cool down his car so that the inside temperatures don't get dangerously high in the summer. Because you can imagine in a hot place like India, how hot the inside of the car would get. He came up with an idea to cool it down. Nick, what ingenious idea did this homeopathic doctor come up with to cool down his car?
I need a little bit of clarity here. So it was, first of all, what kind of doctor is a homeopathic doctor? I'd have to Google it.
I think he believes in like holistic alternative.
Okay. And then is this to cool down the car when you're not in it? So when you get in it, it's not so hot?
I think both. I think so that it's not so hot when you're in it, and I think it's.
What about the air conditioner, man? Turn the air conditioner on.
I don't know what kind of money he has. It's India. You know what I mean?
That's true. Maybe he's going, windows open. I don't know. Jimmy, you stumped me.
Man, finally. I got him on one of them. All right. So in order to cool down his car, Mr. Shashil Sagar decided to plaster cow shit all over it. We've got a video courtesy of Brute India on Instagram.
I never would have guessed that one.
So he calls it sunscreen for your car.
Is cow dung cool? I mean, is it cooling?
I don't know. I don't know, but that's what he claims. So he calls it sunscreen for your car. He says that cow shit coating can last for 2 months if it's not disturbed by water. If it rains, I guess you're in trouble, right?
Shit's Creek.
Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think that this summer, if Boston gets really hot and you need to find a way to keep cool, what do you think?
I rubbed shit all over me, baby. No, I'm just kidding. I would not do that. But your last week's episode, somebody was leaving cereal on the front porch of someone's house.
Yes.
And as the guessing was going on, I'm thinking, and your guest actually said crap with a birthday candle in it. And I thought they just left a bag of shit, because that was like what, pranksters used to do, but it was Kellogg cereal, so it was nothing like that. So no, I would not wipe shit all over. No, I just sweat. That'd be fine.
You just sweat it out. I would
Sweat
like
it
to
out.
know how he got to that point. I'd like to know, he's sitting there, man, it's really hot out. Because in India, cows are sacred, right? They don't kill them. So
That's true.
how, I wonder if there was maybe like a paddy sitting in the middle of the road.
Oh,
You know?
it
Like,
looked
I'm
like he got
trying
a
to
brush.
think.
Put the picture back up. It looked like he got a brush. It was
I don't know.
pointing it at
Rob,
him.
are you able to put a picture up from that thing or put up a video clip with no audio? Are you able to do that? I'm asking him on the fly to do this for us.
It's okay. He's a wizard if he can't do. He touched it. Did you see him touch the hood?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to get it on there somehow. Right?
I mean, it's maybe at this point it don't his shit don't stink anymore. Maybe at this point, I don't know.
I don't know. Something
It's
tells
got to
me
be
that
very hot there.
if my wife complains about the heat in the summertime, I don't think that's the solution I'm going to go with.
Me either.
No.
You're not gonna rub shit all over the house.
Yeah, I know. Hey, if you want to cut heating or cooling costs, I don't know.
Boy, there you go.
All right. I
There
want
you
to
go.
thank our guest, Nick Gelso, for doing this. Nick, tell the people what you're doing and where they can find you.
Jimmy, I appreciate you having me. This was a blast and out of the ordinary. Like I said, it's the NBA playoffs. All I do are sports hits all day. I'm so tired of it. So to come on here and talk nonsense was great. But people can find me at CLNS_Nick on Twitter, Instagram. I'm on, but I don't do too much there. And then the sports company, CLNSmedia.com. And then our digital broadcast media company is North Station Media here in Boston. That's about it, bro.
Awesome. Well, this was a lot of fun. That's going to do it for
A lot of
KYN
fun.
Live. Tune in next Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern for more silliness. That's totally real. Until then, bye for now. Thanks for doing this, man.
This is a blast. And I'll be back anytime. And we kept it to 30 minutes.